Welcome back, my dear. Ranga's Marriage by Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. Part 2. This video I am preparing for Standard 11 for the supplementary book Snapshot. Today I am here with question answers and I will tell you the correct answers, value points, so that you can write the answers correctly in your notebooks. So let us begin the first question. Comment on the influence of English, the language and the way of life, on Indian life as reflected in the story. What is the narrator's attitude to English? So you'll have to take care of some points here. Number 1, language and the way of life. Indian life reflected in the story and the attitude of narrator. So you can write, the story talks about the influence English language had decades ago in his village. Not many people in the village at that time could understand or talk in English. Only a few courageous people would send their children to study in cities, like the village accountant sent Ranga to Bangalore. When Ranga came back to the village, everyone was keen on seeing how their culture had transformed him. So as far as cultural influence is concerned, the story mentions how Ranga wanted to marry a girl who was mature, someone who understands him and is compatible with him. This is completely in opposition to the arranged marriages that were widely prevalent in those times. The narrator finds it disgraceful when people mix Kannada language with English. He recounts how one day lady delivered firewood to Rama Rao's place and he told her to come the next morning because he had no change. The lady did not know what change meant and left while muttering to herself. So the narrator confessed that he too did not know what is meant until he asked Rama Rao. Question number 2. Astrologers' perceptions are based more on hearsay and conjecture than what they learn from the study of the stars. Comment with reference to the story. So in this answer you will write down the story throws light upon how Shastri predicts what was going on in Ranga's mind. He did it using 2 sheets of paper, some cowries and a book of pamara leaves in the form of his paraphernalia. He even revealed that Ranga has some girl on his mind whose name related to something that belonged to the ocean. All this made Ranga believe in the power of astrology, while in reality it was our narrator Shyama who had tutored Shastri to say so in a meeting prior to the one with Ranga. Shastri made it seem like no big deal when Ranga left and Shyama called it his marvelous Shastra. He said he could have guessed it with his numbers even if Shyama had not staged it for him. Hence, the story portrays astrologers' perceptions to be based more on hearsay and conjecture than what they learn from the stars. Question number 3. Indian society has moved a long way from the way the marriage is arranged in the story. So here it is to be discussed how come Indian society has moved a long way from the way the marriage is arranged in the story. So here you can write, it is true. It is true that Indian society has moved a long way from the way the marriage is arranged in the story. Earlier there was no concept of love marriage, and only arranged marriages took place like the one being talked about in the story. Ranga's marriage was arranged by his uncle Shyama. In present times, the bride and the groom have a say in the matter, unlike decades ago where even their consents were not considered important. Our society has come a long way since then, especially when it comes to the rights of females. Earlier, the bride's families were pressurized into paying dowry, which has been illegalized now. It is also against the law to marry individuals who have not yet attained a specific age, 18 in case of girls and 21 in case of boys. Question number 4. What kind of a person do you think the narrator is? So here in this answer you will write, the narrator is a man of his land, as he introduces his village with such enthusiasm that every reader would want to visit it at least once. And now I'm going to stop it because I have already told this answer in the previous video. So go through the previous video last few seconds and you'll get the answer of this question. What did you say? No? Okay, then I'm going to repeat it for you. So what kind of a person do you think the narrator is? So number 1, he is a man of his land. He introduces the village and he speaks about all the good and bad aspects of the village. His hospitality can also be appreciated. He has taken good care of his readers, and he has maintained the authenticity of his culture. He thinks it is a disgrace to mix Kannada with English. Also, he is a man with a good judgment of character. He knew what type of man Ranga was, and that Rama's niece Ratna, how she would be a perfect partner for him. Shyama seemed like someone who knows how to make his own way. The whole setup of the village he has staged with the village Shastri in order to get Ranga and Ratna married. He is also very funny by way of which he is teased, and how he teases village Shastri. Although clever, he seems to be a man with best intentions at heart. And this was the reason at the end of the story we come to know how Ranga and Ratna, they give name to their own son in the name of Shyama. So I hope you have enjoyed this story and read it once again to understand each and every aspect, as it is supplementary reader, so I cannot help you more. That reading part is compulsory. You will have to read the story thoroughly. Okay? So now it is time to say thank you. Thanks for the watch, and the next chapter we are going to start is from your prose section, chapter number 3. Write down the question answers in your homework notebook. Thank you very much.